And a good Thursday to you, day before the weekend. It is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on this 10th day of July 2025. Today is the 191st day of the year. Yeah, we're past the middle. We only have 174 days left. Do the math, that's 160 some odd days until Christmas. You can't think about that right now. Eric Grandstrom in for Dan Koontz on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley today. We've got your latest local news coming up. We've got sports news on the way. Another bad night for our baseball teams. The Wenatchee Apple Sox lose for the 8th straight time. Seattle Mariners have lost a couple to start that series in New York against the very hated Yankees. More on that on the way. And kind of a baseball theme here today. I know Dan has all these bobbleheads. I should have put a bobblehead out here. But we have Mitch Darlington, the head coach for the Wenatchee Apple Sox, going to join us as a special guest. We got out to the ballpark the other day and sat down and visited with Mitch, and fun conversation, so be sure and tune in for that. That's the last half of the program here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley for this July 10th. Before we get to the weather forecast, it's going to be breezy again today. We'll take a look out our weather window from our cameras this morning, and of course the first camera we look upon the valley from above up at the cross camera. I know there's some folks out there that don't like me calling it the cross camera, but it's up towards the cross that you see at night here in the Wenatchee Valley. You can see a little ripple of the waters of the Columbia this morning, the Great Columbia River, as it winds its way through the Wenatchee Valley. And yeah, we're looking at very breezy conditions here this afternoon. Good news, no red flag warning in effect, although still need to be careful out there with any fire activity because of temperatures and dry conditions. But good morning to Wenatchee and East Wenatchee, our home base here for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Camera 2 this morning, we will go, let's see, okay. Now, I asked for Josiah to show me a little bit different view this morning. And is this Leavenworth? Okay, all right, this is looking down upon Leavenworth this morning. I like that view. That's pretty good. Looking kind of towards the south and southeast a little bit. And good morning, Leavenworth. I think down there somewhere I could see the home of, oh, maybe not. Maybe it's further to the right than what this camera shows. But our friends Richie and Vicki Herod live in Leavenworth, and they're going to be part of that discussion with Mitch Darlington coming up a little bit later on this morning. So be sure and tune in for that. Good morning, Leavenworth, the Bavarian village, waking up and shining for this Thursday. All right, camera 3, as the curveballs continue here from Mr. Josiah, our producer extraordinaire for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. And that looks like the Columbia, but I'm not sure where I'm looking, Josiah. Oh, Billy Goat. Oh, okay. All right. Oh, yeah, there it is. Okay, we just have a little bit more Billy Goat in the foreground. And in the distance, down below, you can see a little bit of Brewster and Pateros and the confluence there of the Methow River and the Columbia. Of course, growing up, I lived over in Western Washington, and my grandparents had property up in Winthrop, and we always called it the Methow. It wasn't until I moved to Wenatchee in 1989, 1990 in there that I found out that, well, after I lived on Methow Street and was calling it Methow with everybody I talked to, they went, no, it's Methow. Oh, okay. All right. Now I know. All right. Camera 4 this morning on this Thursday, going to be a sunny day and a lot cooler today. Oh, what a dramatic view here. Which camera is this, Josiah? Okay, looking off to the west towards the Cascades, you see a little crawl of cloudiness there, and I don't know if that's Nanapoc or where that is, but that's a gorgeous view. What is it? Oh, Blag Mountain, there you go. Okay. I've been up there once, and boy, you talk about a goat trail to get up towards that camera. Holy cow. You got to be, don't look over the edge on the side of the road that gets up there. But a gorgeous view this morning. You see a little bit of cloudiness in Western Washington, waking up to overcast skies. But here for the Wenatchee Valley, we're waking up to clear skies, just a few scattered clouds as we look out our weather window this morning. Speaking of the weather, let's talk about our forecast here for the Wenatchee Valley. Going to be sunny and breezy today. Northwest winds 10 to 15, gusting to 24 miles per hour this afternoon. I love how they have that exact, right? They say it's going to be 25 24 miles per hour. And if you look at it carefully, it probably says 24.3 miles per hour. But sunny skies today, a high of 84 for Wenatchee. Cooled down the last 2 days. To yesterday and today, cooler. And then here we go into the warm-up again. 63 the overnight low tonight, and breezy winds kind of dropping off after midnight, but still 6 to 14, gusting to 22 miles per hour. I should use the nerdly voice for that. Sunny skies on Friday as we wrap up the work week. 92 degrees expected tomorrow. 68 the overnight low on Friday night, and that's going to lead into a hot weather weekend. 95 on Saturday, 97 Sunday, and then into next week. It's not going to cool off much with high temperatures in the upper 90s, tickling that 100-degree mark, and nighttime lows in the 70s. Yesterday's high in Wenatchee was 88 degrees. The overnight low earlier this morning, 66. Record high temperature for today. We're not going to get there, not even going to get close. 104 degrees in 2012. The record low, 44 in 1899. Again, fascinated with the fact that they kept temperatures way back then. Normal high, we should be around 87, and normal low 61. So we're in that ballpark here today, but that's about the last time we're going to see normal for quite some time. Sun rose this morning at 5:15. It'll set tonight at 8:57, and doing my Cedro Woolley math, we're going to lose a couple of minutes coming up tomorrow of daylight. Sun rise tomorrow morning at 5:16 for a Friday, and then sun will set tomorrow night at 8:56. We're at 68 degrees outside the studios here in downtown Wenatchee on the morning edition for Wake Up Wenatchee Valley for a Thursday. Yes, it's been a long week. You know, I appreciate Dan Kuntz more so than I probably have in a long time. Not just because of, hosting the show, which is a challenge. You get tongue-tied once in a while, and Dan comes in here and does this every day of the week, Monday through Friday, and we had to boot him out of here, in fact, to get him to go on a vacation. But I also appreciate the fact that the early rise to get up, to get going, to do this show on a daily basis is not easy. Both he and Josiah, as a matter of fact, our producer here this morning. It is tough. It is not easy. And there are days when, you're supposed to go to bed like at 7, 8 o'clock, and I mean, who's kidding who? It's summertime. It's so bright outside. Even if you have blackout windows, it makes it very difficult. So appreciation and tip of the cap to Dan and to Josiah for doing this every single day here to help you start your day on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll take a break, come back. We'll get you the latest news from the News Center right after this.
There's no place like home. Because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories. And we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier. Total comfort, totally happy.
Call Alpine Air Heating and Cooling today. Your comfort is their priority.
Hi, I'm Amanda Walden with A. Walden Insurance Group. Medicare can be overwhelming, but you don't have to figure it out alone. I've been helping people understand their Medicare options for over a decade. Medicare isn't a one-size-fits-all. I'll help you understand your coverage options so you can feel confident in your decisions. Let's find the right Medicare plan for you. Call me today or come and see me at my office located on South Chelan Avenue in Wenatchee between the YMCA and the Social Security office. I look forward to meeting you soon.
Tour Moses Lake just a gas tank away. With its abundance of outdoor activities, Moses Lake is a great place to visit. From fishing and boating to exploring the city's attractions, there is no shortage of things to do. Whether you're enjoying any one of the variety of restaurants with the family or an adventure-filled day with friends, Moses Lake has something for everyone. TourMosesLake.com and start your adventure today.
Central Washington Water understands the power of healing waters. If part of your wellness routine includes hot heat from a sauna, Central Washington Water now carries indoor and outdoor infrared and hot rock saunas by Tilo. Research shows there are many health benefits to a cold plunge after a good workout or relaxing time in your sauna. Harness the power of water in a hot spring spa, plug-and-play spas, a Tilo sauna, or a cold plunge tub. Stop by Central Washington Water, your wellness experts.
And a good Thursday to you, 10th of July, 2025. In for Dan Kuntz, I'm Eric Granstrom on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Sunny and breezy today with a high of 84 for Wenatchee. We're at 68 in downtown Wenatchee with your latest local news. A motorist is dead after her SUV traveled off a cliff on the North Cascades Highway. Happened about 2:30 on Tuesday afternoon. The Washington State Patrol says 62-year-old Tamara Harang of Blaine veered off the right-hand side of the roadway while traveling west approaching Washington Pass. Her 2015 Buick Encore tumbled 450 feet down the slope and then burst into flames. Harang was pronounced dead at the scene. The precise cause of the fatal crash is, of course, under investigation. A woman sustained injuries yesterday after crashing her car into a mailbox. According to East Wenatchee Assistant Police Chief Eric Hampton, the driver was headed eastbound on 9th Street Northeast around 2 in the afternoon when she reached towards her passenger seat to retrieve an item and veered her car into the mailbox. She then allegedly overcorrected and collided with a large boulder in a nearby yard, tipping her vehicle onto its side. The woman was transported to Confluence Health Hospital's Central Campus for treatment for her injury. She was also cited for inattention. Well, 2 Wenatchee Valley College students have created a design for a modernized operating system at Dryden Dam. Dylan Cornelius and Juan Martinez have proposed introducing an electromechanical control system for the low head weir near Dryden that diverts water into the Highline Irrigation Canal from the Wenatchee River. Students claim that doing so would improve both automation and data collection. Cornelius and Martinez presented their design to Chelan County PUD commissioners using a 3D model and physical prototype during a meeting last Monday. PUD Commissioner Gary Arsenault congratulated the 2 students on their proposed design, calling it, quote, fabulous. Hospital leaders and local activists spoke out Tuesday against scheduled cuts to Medicaid that could force several north central Washington medical centers to close. Rural People's Voice hosted the press conference at the Three Rivers Hospital in Brewster. It's one of a half dozen hospitals in the region that say the reductions in Medicaid just passed by Congress and signed into law by President Trump would leave no way for many patients to pay for care.
This is a sacred kind of thing that we do here at the hospital, is to be able to provide the highest quality of care regardless of the insurance that people have. And we hope that those who are in power will take a different tack and look for different ways to cover the costs of the budget. We also want to say that this is one of those kinds of situations where when people don't have the care and the coverage that they need for their health care, that they suffer even their own lives. They may not be able to sustain life because they depend on this hospital and they need the coverage that they have in order to be able to access this care. Our hope, our goal, our prayer is that we will be able to continue to be able to offer that care to those important people in our community.
As news continues here on a Thursday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, Douglas County has a new chief prosecutor. Sean Patrick Lewis was appointed Monday by the Douglas County Board of Commissioners to serve as the county prosecuting attorney throughout 2026. He takes over the elected office left by Gordon Edgar, who resigned at the end of June after 6.5 years in office and 23 years as deputy prosecutor. Lewis has practiced law for 28 years. He was previously a city attorney for East Wenatchee and just last year joined the Chelan County Prosecutor's Office as a deputy. The Douglas County Prosecutor's seat will go up for election in November 2026. The lead federal prosecutor for Eastern Washington has stepped down. Richard R. Barker resigned as acting United States Attorney on Monday. He assumed the office at the start of this year after U.S. Attorney Vanessa Waldref, appointed by President Biden, resigned with President Donald Trump's re-election to office. Barker says he will work in private practice after 11 years with the federal office. Trump has yet to appoint a permanent attorney for the Eastern District, which pursues federal criminal and civil cases in every county east of the Cascades. Barker will be succeeded on an interim basis by Deputy Attorney Stephen Van Marker. Well, Chelan County Commissioners Monday approved the $2.6 million sale of a Malaga property to the Center for Alcohol and Drug Treatment to be the new site of its inpatient facility. The center's residential inpatient and detox programs now operate in Wenatchee. The move would relocate those services away from the city. The property is located at 2729 Mill Pond Drive in Malaga. Loretta Stover, the center's director, says it's if designs and permitting go as expected, groundbreaking could begin in late 2026. Funding for the land's purchase and construction come from $19.6 million allocated in the state's 2023 capital budget. 7th District State Representatives Hunter Abel and Andrew Engel will be hosting 2 town hall meetings this month to answer questions from community members. An East Wenatchee Town Hall will take place July 16th at the East Wenatchee City Hall. 12th District Representative Brian Burnett will join Abel and Engel for the meeting since his legislative district includes Wenatchee. Then a TWISP Town Hall will take place the following day, July 17th at the TWISP Valley Grange. Both town halls will begin at 5:30 and are open to the public. That's a check of news headlines here at 16 minutes past the hour. Grant Olson, of course, will join us with more coming up in the News Center at 5, 6, and 10 o'clock here tonight on the NCWLIFE channel. If you have an update for us on the news side of the world, something happening that you think everybody should know about, all you have to do is send us an email, news@ncwlife.com. You can reach out to us through our website at ncwlife.com. You can also call the news hotline at 509-888-NCWL. That's 509-888-6295. We'll take a break here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley and come back with sports news. Not good news if you're a Mariner or Apple Sox fan. That's coming up next here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley.
The Surf and Slide Water Park is open from Memorial Day through Labor Day. Surf and Slide is located in the heart of Central Washington in Moses Lake with activities for all ages and abilities. Check out Surf and Slide's Flow Rider Surfing Simulator, Lazy River, 2 200-foot water slides, tube slides, and diving boards. Our children's area includes a Treasure Island water structure, splash pad, and baby octopus slide. For season passes, visit us online or find Surf and Slide on Facebook.
Craving fresh Asian comfort food? Steam Panda is Wenatchee's popular, family-friendly Asian restaurant. They focus on providing guests with delicious, healthy, fresh, and natural dishes for an affordable price. It's time to enjoy one of their many popular house-made soup dumplings, ramen noodles, or pho dishes. And make sure to ask about their lunch and chef specials on sushi rolls. Steam Panda's Hawaiian poke bowl and salads are excellent with your favorite boba tea. Stop by or order online at Steam Panda today.
Caught in a conflict? Family, workplace, neighbor, business, housing disputes? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us to learn more.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
Hope you're off to a good start to your Thursday. It is the 10th of July. We're looking at sunny and breezy conditions today. Temperatures in the middle 80s, off to a 68-degree start. Before we get to sports news here at 19 past the hour, I just had an update here. Email from the folks with the Wenatchee River Salmon Derby. I don't know if you heard about it or not, but it has been canceled. This from Bobby Loomis. He said, quote, due to in-season updates, regulatory changes, and low catch rates, interest in this year's Derby has significantly declined. Now, after careful consideration and in fairness to our participants, the sponsors, and fishing community, we've made the difficult decision to cancel this year's Derby. If you've already registered, they're working on refunds, and you should see them processed very shortly. So Wenatchee River Salmon Derby, well, not Wenatchee River Salmon Derby, but the Wenatchee Salmon Derby put on by North Central Washington CCA has been canceled for this year. All right, sports news. Mariners probably hoped the game would have been canceled last night. Seattle spotted the Yankees 3 runs in the first inning and could never catch up, losing 9-6. Logan Evans got the start for the Mariners. He was roughed up for 6 runs on 9 hits and a couple of home runs in the Yankee Stadium bandbox. It's only 314 down the right field line. The two teams combined for 6 home runs, including 4 by Seattle. It was the Yankees' 3rd win in a row.
Ground ball through for a base hit. Dominguez rounds third. He's coming home. Canzone flips it into second. It's an RBI single for Bellinger. It's a 14-game hitting streak for Bellinger. It's a 1-0 Yankee lead. Here's Stanton. Ripped into right field. It's a base hit. Canzone cuts the ball off. Scoring is Judge. Bellinger moves to third. RBI single for Stanton. 2-0 Yanks. Grounded. Young makes the throw to first. Scoring is Bellinger. An RBI for Chisholm is 40th of the year. It's 3-0 Yanks.
This is out to right field. J.P. Crawford bangs it out of here. Number 7 this year for J.P. Crawford. He gets the Mariners on the board here in the 3rd.
High drive, center field. Rodriguez back. He's on the track. He's at the wall. See ya. Into Monument Park. A solo shot for Chisholm. 4-1 Yanks.
2 balls, no strikes. Here comes the 2-0. Swung on. That is lift off right field down the line. Is it going to stay fair? And it is gone. A long home run down the line for Jorge Polanco. He bashed it. It stays fair. It is gone, and the Mariners have their 2nd home run of the game. It's now 4-2. Yankees with the lead.
Drill deep to right field. There it goes. See ya. A bullet home run by Chisholm. A 2-run shot, and the Yankees lead 6-2.
Crack deep. Opposite way. Arozarena back and gone. Randy Arozarena's 7th home run in his last 9 games. He just creeps it over the wall in right field. It's a 2-run game in the 6th inning.
A really good defender. Base hit. Dominguez's 3rd hit. Scoring as well. Peraza moves to 3rd. RBI single for Jason Dominguez, and it's 7-4 Yanks. Grounded, fair, inside 3rd and down the left field line. That'll go into the corner. 1-run scores. Dominguez motoring around 3rd. Here he comes. The throw is not made. It's a 2-run double for Judge.
In the air out to right field and gone. Cole Young, welcome to the show. His first big league home run comes inside Yankee Stadium. 2-run home run. Now, what a great feeling that is for the Mariners rookie second baseman.
Finally, he gets to hold on to that trident. Congratulations, kiddo.
Ball game. Strong inning for Devin Williams. Yankees win 9-6, their 3rd in a row. 2 home runs for Chisholm. And the Schlittler family is going to celebrate tonight. In his major league debut, Cam Schlittler goes 5 1/3 and picks up the win.
Seattle manager Dan Wilson afterwards talked about the start for Evans, the homers, and Mariner attempt at a comeback.
They fought back. They tried to get back into this game. Picking up 4 homers tonight. A big day for Cole Young getting his first big league homer. That's a reason to celebrate, and good for him. They hit home runs too, they got the early lead, and we tried to jump back into it, like I mentioned, but they continued to kind of work that lead and expand it a little bit. Some balls found some holes, some singles there, but for him being able to get out there, it's his first time in the Yankee Stadium, and a different kind of environment for him, but gave up some hits, but I thought he settled back into it, and it did a good job of kind of regrouping after that, and got us into the fifth. Yeah, I mean, we had plenty of information on him, and I thought he threw the ball well. He was able to kind of spot that fastball when he needed to, and kept us off balance with the other stuff, and he did what he had to do, and being able to open up with a 3-run lead, I think, it was also a benefit for him to kind of settle in and just kind of go about his business.
Seattle will try to avoid the sweep today at 4:05 this afternoon. Game broadcast on Root Sports Northwest. Cleveland continued to give the Astros trouble in Houston as the Guardians won 4-2. The Angels topped Texas 11-8. Atlanta rebounded for a 9-2 win over the Athletics. Seattle remains 6.5 games behind Houston in the American League West standings. Well, the Wenatchee Apple Sox losing skid continued last night, falling to Kamloops 11-6. Streak has reached 8 games in a row after the North Paws jumped out to a 9-0 lead through the first 5 innings. It wasn't until the bottom of the 5th that Wenatchee's scored its first run. Avery Cooper and Jackson Dodd combined on the coverage on the Apple Sox Broadcast Network.
With a runner in scoring position, 3-1. Swinging ground ball rolled over the shortstop. Sedekaski boots it. Ball rolls into shallow center field off to his left. It's 9-1. First pitch, swinging, ground ball over to third. Off the end of the glove, ricochets over to Sedekaski into left field, and a run scores. There's a swing and a miss, dropped by the catcher Burke. Here comes Martinez, head first slide, and Cade is safe. The 3-0. Inside for ball 4. That'll score a run, and Jaehee Lee, 10-4 now. This ball game bases still loaded. The 2-run triple. The 0-1. Little blooper. That'll drop for a base hit. Rounding third is Evan Cloyd. He's headed for home, and that'll score a 2-run single by Jacob Croxford.
Kyle Paganaban led the way for the Apple Sox offensively, going 3 for 4 with 2 RBI. Wenatchee will try to avoid the sweep tonight at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium at game time at 6:35. Checking the West Coast League scoreboard from last night, Nanaimo edged Kelowna 3-1. Edmonton used a 3-run 8th inning to get by Bellingham 5-4. Victoria's Isaiah Afework hit not 1, not 2, but 3 home runs in the Harbor Cats' 9-4 win over Port Angeles. By the way, those 3 home runs, his first home runs of the season. Nice way to break out. Corvallis has now won 10 in a row after a 9-1 win over Ridgefield. Carson Boyer was dominant for Bend, going 6 innings and striking out 7 in the Elks' 11-2 win over the Marion Berries. Jack Varney's 2-run double highlighted a 4-run 4th inning for Yucca Valley as the Pippins topped Springfield by a final of 4-3. Callett scored 3 runs in the bottom of the 9th with Braden Lundberg walking it off with an RBI single, and the Bears' 6-5 win over Walla Walla. That's a look at sports news at 27 minutes past the hour. Just a reminder that we'll continue with the Apple Sox theme coming up as we have Mitch Darlington joining us here. We went out to the ballpark the other day, talked to Mitch about just his career in Wenatchee so far, and also whether he likes cheese on a particular sandwich. Before we get to the obscure holiday, of course, we take a little break here, get a little breath, and take our morning slurp. So if you have water, you got coffee, you have, in my case, some Diet Coke, here's to our morning slurp this morning. Okay. All right. Good start to the day. Hey, by the way, welcome, and thanks for taking some time out of your holiday. I've got a couple of friends from high school in town here today and heading up to the Manson area over the next couple of days. Darren and Damaris Hansen went to high school with them at Cedar Woolley High School. Darren graduated in '85. Doomer and I graduated in '86. Damaris, you know, the substitute teachers always mispronounced her name, so everybody just started calling her Doomer, and she's been Doomer ever since. We grew up together. We've known each other forever. They got a hold of Marion and me and said, hey, we're coming through town. You guys want to have some dinner? So we gathered last night at El Agave and had a great meal and great conversation, lots of fun, lots of laughs. So thanks for stopping by and looking forward to our reunion next summer. It's going to be epic. All right, let's take a look at the obscure holiday options for today. We had, let's see, Independence Day in the Bahamas. Don't Step on a Bee Day. Well, actually, I think that's every day. National Pina Colada Day. Ooh, could have done that, but no, we're going to choose National Kitten Day. Meow. Meow. Kittens can hiss if they smell something unfamiliar. Kittens are born with their eyes and ears sealed shut. Did you know that? Since more than one male cat can impregnate a female at the same time, one litter can have multiple fathers. I didn't know that. Kittens from a litter don't have to be born on the same day. Some can be born 1 to 2 days later. Anybody who's had a cat that had kittens, you know about that wait, and that can be kind of a surprise. You think that she's done, and then you go back to check on them the next day, and wait a minute, you counted 5 before, now there's 6. What? Sometimes mother cats will chew off the kitten's whiskers to prevent them from wandering off. I didn't know that. Long-hair kittens take longer to open their eyes than short-hair kittens, probably because they're getting the long hair unmatted from their face. Kittens are born with blue-gray eyes, and then they change later. Before their vision develops completely, kittens will use their sense of smell and whiskers to explore the world, so if mom chews the whiskers off, that keeps them close to the nest, right? Kittens need with their paws to stimulate milk flow. You'll see that with a lot of different animals. Kittens are vulnerable to cold because they can't regulate their body temperature. Yeah, well, that's all cats, right? They don't pant, so they lick themselves. All right, National Kitten Day today. This is the 10th of July, 2025. Let's take a look at what happened on this day in history. 1890, 135 years ago, welcome Wyoming. They became the 44th state of the United States, the equality state. They're known as the Cowboy State. Their official state song is Wyoming, of course. At 587,618 people, it is the least populated state in the Union. I looked it up. I checked on it again this morning. I thought, well, no, North Dakota's got to have fewer people than Wyoming. Nope. North Dakota has quite a few more people than Wyoming. Largest MSA in Wyoming is the Greater Cheyenne area of 98,327 people. Now, for comparison, the Wenatchee MSA is 124,000. So yeah, we're bigger than Cheyenne. The first state to grant women the right to vote in 1869. That was 21 years before they became a state, so hats off to Wyoming. And only 2 escalators in the entire state. Both are located in the town of Casper. Little factoid for you about Wyoming. It was on this date 112 years ago in 1913, the temperature in Death Valley, California hits 134 degrees, the highest temperature ever to be recorded on Earth. It's so frequently the hottest spot in the United States that many tabulations of the highest daily temperature in the country omit Death Valley as a matter of course. Average daily high temperature for the month of July is 117 degrees. Of course, if you jump in your car and you look at your dashboard, I'm sure Death Valley's record would be much more than that because the car is always hot. It was 100 years ago today in 1925, Mayor Baba spoke his last words. He said, quote, "Don't worry, be happy," and began a silence of 44 years. His followers observed today as Silence Day in commemoration. It was on this date 93 years ago in 1932, the final game of a 3-game series between the Philadelphia Athletics and the Cleveland Indians was moved. The first 2 games were played in Philly, but in 1932 you could not play professional baseball in Philadelphia on a Sunday. So after the Saturday contest, the A's and Indians took a train to Cleveland for the Sunday afternoon contest. The owner and manager of the Athletics, Connie Mack, wanted to save money on the train fares, so he brought along only 2 pitchers, the starting pitcher, Lou Krause, and a relief pitcher, Eddie Rommel. Now, after allowing 3 Cleveland runs in the first inning, Eddie Rommel came in to replace Krause. He then pitched in relief the next 17 innings. He gave up 14 runs, 29 hits, both records. And by the way, he won the game 18-17 in the greatest relief pitching performance of all time. Now that is something else. All right, celebrity birthdays today. We celebrate the birth of Nikola Tesla. He was born on this date in 1856. He died at the age of 86 in 1943. He essentially is the inventor of the practical application of the modern alternating current electricity supply system. Tesla. was born on this date. Also, David Brinkley was born on this date in 1920. He passed away in 2003 at the age of 82. Of course, from the Huntley-Brinkley Report. This week with David Brinkley, 10 Emmy Awards, a Presidential Medal of Freedom. Happy birthday. No, we celebrate his birth. David Brinkley. Urban Meyer is 61 today, one of 3 coaches, the others being Pop Warner and Nick Saban, to win major college football national championships at 2 different universities, 2 at Florida and 1 at Ohio State. Happy birthday to Urban Meyer, and happy birthday to Sofia Vergara. 53 today, Colombian American actress and producer Gloria on Modern Family, America's Got Talent, and she's on my island. Sofia Vergara, 53 today. Wake up Wenatchee Valley and the NCWLIFE channel happy to have the support of Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. It's time for our Pause for Pets with Wenatchee Valley Humane Society. Today's segment features a 9-month-old German Shepherd mix. She's a social butterfly with a love of walks and water who's searching for her forever home. Meet Penny.
Hi, I'm Corley with Wenatchee Valley Humane Society, Animal Care Manager, and today I want to introduce you to our bright little Penny. Penny is, we think, 9 or 10 months old, Shepherd mix with something. She came to us as a stray about a month ago. She's been with us for that long, which is shocking to me because she is just the sweetest girl. She loves people, so affectionate. Really wants to do whatever you want her to do. She is just a sponge, soaking it all up. She wants to learn. She's already learning so many things. She learned sit within a week, just a few training sessions with her, and she picked it right up. She's a really nice size, and I don't think she's gonna get much bigger. She's I've been calling her a pint-sized shepherd. I think she'd be great, like in an apartment, actually, you know, because she's really small, and she's just so full of love and fun. She's so playful. She loves her stuffed animals and her tennis balls. She brings them right back to us. Yeah, she loves her stuffed Kongs. Food is the way to her heart, and she will do any kind of training you want as long as there is hot dogs and cheese involved. Because she came to us as a stray, we don't know about cats. She has a couple dog friends here, but as usual, we always suggest that if you have a dog, you bring them to meet her also, because she can be a little selective. It's hard to say with dogs sometimes who they're gonna like and who they're not gonna like. She loves going for walks. Just really anything to do with a person, she is fully on board with. And I think she'd be a good little running buddy because she's so light and agile. She's got these long legs. I think she'd be a great runner. Yeah. And she loves the water. She has a little pool that she likes to dive into. She's just an all-around great little girl. We really love having her, but she really needs a home. So if you'd like to come meet our little Penny, we are open Thursday through Tuesday from 12:30 to 6, or you can make an appointment online to come and visit her on Wednesday. We would love to meet you.
Give them a call at 509-662-9577 or visit their website at wenatcheehumane.org.
Settle in for summer savings on stressless furniture at Boswell's. Right now, get a $100 instant rebate for every $1,000 you spend on stressless recliners, sofas, and accessories. Plus, save $50 on stressless Laurel and Mint dining chairs or home office chairs. Shop Boswell's, 2915 Easy Street in Wenatchee.
This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, it is my understanding that 2 local religious organizations are including firearms and other use of force training in their church-related activities. Now, this is fine. Church can do anything they want. But this type of thing has nothing to do with Christianity and absolutely nothing to do with promoting or building the kingdom of God. Yeah, I know. Jesus asked his disciples who had a sword prior to heading to the Garden of Gethsemane, but also said if you live by the sword, you're going to die that way too. Now, it's interesting. The Apostle Paul tells us that the kingdom of God is love, peace, and joy in the Holy Spirit, and that the weapons of Christianity are not earthly, not firearms, but they're spiritual. Sorry, folks, but you know who you are, but you can't co-opt Jesus into justifying your paranoia. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnotti, and that's my opinion.
Welcome to the summer of good. Good people, good taste, good vibes, and good, well, everything. When you're ready for some old-fashioned good, Abby's is your place. We've been celebrating summers around the P&W for over 60 years. At Abby's, good is a legendary tradition.
Holy pepperoni, Abby Man. It's the hometown hero bursting onto the scene this July at a special price, starring classic pepperoni, green peppers, and Italian sausage. One bite and wham. Don't miss the summer's biggest blockbuster. The hometown hero has arrived at Abby's.
Welcome to the Gilded Lily home, where something extraordinary is waiting for you. The Gilded Lily offers a unique collection of hand-selected, carefully curated items to help you celebrate all of life's special moments. From the budding chef to the home decorator to that very special occasion, there is an abundance of delightful gifts waiting for you. The Gilded Lily home, where you can step in for inspiration and leave with beautiful items to brighten any area of your home.
Welcome to Mountain Chick Floral, your go-to flower and plant shop in downtown Wenatchee. Explore their wide variety of unusual and fun plants. And when you buy a plant in a container, they'll pot it up for you absolutely free. Birthday or weddings, they'll create the perfect floral arrangement for you. Brighten up your office with fresh blooms delivered to your door or business. Ask about floral subscriptions. Visit Mountain Chick Floral today, where every occasion is a reason to celebrate with flowers.
Thanks for joining us on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We are out at the ballpark at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium talking with the head man for the Wenatchee Apple Sox, Mitch Darlington. Mitch, before we get going and talking about baseball, I did have a visit with some friends apparently of yours. And this is going back to your early growing up days in Leavenworth. And they said to ask you if you want cheese on your Big Wally. Now, I don't know if you could tell just from that who I'm talking about.
I'm guessing it's got to be either Dick Smithson. Is that correct?
It's not Dick.
It's not Dick.
No.
Who else would that be? Not the Harrods?
Yes.
Is it the Harrods? Okay,
yes.
second try.
Richie and Vicky, we were up at their place at Great Cooley as we're driving by Big Wally's, and we're talking baseball, of course, and they said, oh, you got to ask Mitch about this.
Yeah.
Because apparently that was the deal. You guys would stop occasionally. Were you doing baseball stuff, or was it just family trips going to the lake?
No, I think that was like 6th grade. Their son Tyler was at my same age, and we were on a hunting trip and stopped there at Big Wally's, the gas station, and got a Big Wally burger. And of course, the lady had to ask if a 6th grader if he wanted cheese on his Big Wally. And I don't even think I could talk. I was in tears, so that's hilarious.
Well, there was another story that Vicky told too about, I don't know if you were part of this group or not, but there was a team camp somewhere and there was a Hooters stop involved.
Oh, yeah.
Were you part of that too?
Oh yeah, that would have been probably 5th grade basketball. So yeah, you can put the pieces together. We had some interesting trips there growing up.
Well, that's fun. That's fun. Well, first of all, congrats on your success here so far with this program and what you've been able to accomplish. Fastest to 100 wins of anybody that's been coaching here in Wenatchee, and that's a tall task considering what Ed Nags did here. And then, of course, first head coach to take your team to the playoffs 3 years in a row. So congrats on that.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, there's a lot of other factors besides myself that went into the success we've had the last few seasons. Ed obviously being part of that, the Wenatchee Apple Sox name is not what it is without what Ed did here long before I took over, and we've had great assistants, great players come through here the last few years, so minimal credit should go, honestly, to myself.
I didn't know. I happened to run into Ed when he was here in town for Apple Blossom Week, and he said he's going to Bellingham. He's going to be head coaching up there, and of course, immediately has the impact of what you would expect from a Ed Nags coach team. Is that weird for you? Is it kind of a chagrin for you? What is that to see that guy coaching against you now in the same division?
Yeah, I honestly enjoy it. Ed's been nothing but great to me. He's been a mentor the last few years for me as far as roster moves and just making connections and going through this league. And so playing at Bellingham, obviously we played him in the first half, and it was fun to see. It's like it's a good rivalry, obviously, and we're both competitive people, but nothing but love for Ed.
This relationship for you with other coaches and players and such has got to be, I mean, it's all about connections, right?
Yeah. I think building the roster and just everything that goes into that is just connections with players, connections with coaches, connections with their family and family friends. We get a lot of players here through Wenatchee that honestly we haven't even recruited through their school. It's been through previous players and guys texting us or calling us and saying, hey, my buddy wants to come be a Wenatchee Apple Sox, and here's what he is, and this is the type of guy and type of player he is. So connections and just relationships are a huge part of this job.
One of those connections for you is back now as a coach after being such a stellar pitcher here in an Apple Sox uniform, and Quincy Vassar. And of course, he was on the mound last year when the season came to a sudden crushing end for us Sox fans. I wanted to ask you real quick about that and that game and falling to Portland when you're one strike away from winning it. I mean, how hard is that for you as just a person, let alone a coach, to bounce back from?
Yeah. I mean, it was, to say it was a brutal loss, I'd be lying to you. I'd be lying to you if I still say I don't think about it, and I still rewatch and re-go through that last inning and, trying to learn from different things and things I can get better at as a coach and just situational baseball. But, at the same time, that's a microcosm of life. I mean, you leave everything you got out there. I'm proud of our guys. We left nothing in the tank that night. I mean, Quincy Vassar on the mound, coming off short rest. He threw 9 innings against Victoria at home. I don't regret that for a single second, leaving him out there. He was the guy to finish the job. He's the guy that's been here 3 years. And, that's all there is to say. We left everything we had out there, and that's part of life. You come up short, and you learn from it and rebound. And I still think, it's all part of the good Lord's plan. Something's going to happen here down the line, and we're going to look back on that moment and that season and say that was just the start of it.
When we were at the ballpark here earlier this summer, I got a chance to talk with Quincy for a few minutes, and I said, hey, you look like, one of these non-league games, you can grab the rock and do some hurling. He goes, 364 days to rest? Yeah, maybe so. Maybe one inning.
Yeah. I don't think his arm's quite in shape the way it was when he was playing here last summer. He's in full coaching mode now, but I still like to see it. I was joking with him on the bus ride home this last trip. I said, you still got some innings? You have eligibility. We can start you on Tuesday if we want to get some gritty innings out of you. And he just shakes his head. He doesn't even respond to me anymore. So.
Well, and gritty. I mean, you talk about, and that to me seems like your kind of guy. No matter what position they play or where on the bench they are, just to have a gritty kid that just wants to go out there and do everything he can. Seems like your kind of person.
Yeah. Quincy used to fight me just to get the ball off the pitcher's mound and get him back in the dugout and not letting him go out for another inning. And honestly, we've talked with our pitching staff this year, and that's the type of guys we like. A guy that wants to keep throwing, the guy that wants the ball in his hand, and is going to fight you tooth and nail to stay into a game. And you just can't teach that toughness that he had, and it was fun to be a part of him for a few seasons.
We're visiting with Mitch Darlington, head coach for the Wenatchee Apple Sox. We'll take a quick break, come back with more right after this on the NCWLIFE channel.
Now there are even more reasons to meet at the Pybus Market. Outdoor dining and tastings, the fabulous farmers market, Saturday artisans on the concourse, and your favorites all week long. No matter the reason, it's always time to meet at the Pybus Market. Pybus Market, where community meets.
Settle in for summer savings on stressless furniture at Boswell's. Right now, get a $100 instant rebate for every $1,000 you spend on stressless recliners, sofas, and accessories. Plus, save $50 on stressless Laurel and Mint dining chairs or home office chairs. Shop Boswell's, 2915 Easy Street in Wenatchee.
Talking Apple Sox baseball with the head coach, which I'm always interested in the difference between this level and major leagues where you're the manager. Mm-hmm. Should I call you the manager? I mean, you're doing a lot, aside from just X's and O's on the field.
Yeah. I think manager is a good word for it. You kind of get into minor league baseball on that level, and it becomes more of a manager role because you're managing an entire roster. You're bringing guys in, you're sending guys out, you're signing guys, you're cutting guys, and this is that kind of perfect in between of a head coach at the high school, college level, and that minor league level where you're managing a lot more than just X's and O's. So
how is that for you? It's different. A lot of these guys that are coaching around the West Coast League and some of these other summer collegiate leagues are involved in a college program somewhere or something like that. You're athletic director of Mansfield High School. How does that work for you and those connections?
Yeah, I think it benefits us as an organization and me personally in a lot of ways, just because I'm not affiliated with one school. I do a lot of work for a lot of different schools around here, whether it be getting our portal guys who are looking for a new home, a spot, whether it be watching a game in the spring of junior college level baseball and putting a college onto a player that I really like. So yeah, I think it frees me up and honestly makes us better as an organization, as the Apple Sox, just to be able to not be tied anywhere.
It's an odd job for you with bringing these guys in, and it's hard to turn over your roster from one summer to the next and have the same base of guys come back. I know you would love to have those guys you had at the end of last year in that championship against Portland right here once again, but that doesn't happen. It's almost like the old days of being a JUCO coach, where you got guys, if you're lucky, for two goes around, and then that's it, and you get new guys in. When you're looking at that roster and you go through a summer, and you're also looking at guys that are here, but there's a timeline for them because their seasons might be getting underway with late summer ball, that type of thing back in college, or like we talked about, pitch counts, that type of thing. Are you constantly on the phone or texting guys saying, hey, stay loose, be ready to go?
Yeah. I mean, people laugh when I say it, but it's honestly like managing a fantasy football roster. People every time think I'm kidding, but the recruiting never stops. It really doesn't. I mean, throughout the entire summer, you're on social media looking for guys. You're still texting, calling coaches. The roster just flows and changes. You have so many unexpected things. I mean, Jack Barker, who played for us the first 2 weeks here, has to go home and get ready for the MLB draft, thinking he's getting drafted. Great shot at getting drafted, but they want him to put on weight. Just things like that where great players leave you one day, and then the next day you got to find somebody else to come play shortstop for you. It's just a constant job. It really doesn't end.
You got 4 guys on the All-Star team. That was announced earlier this week. Talk about that. 3 pitchers and a shortstop. And I'll tell you, that shortstop you got is a pretty good kid.
Yeah. We can start with him. Cade Martinez. He's been nails for us all summer long, man. He's our best leader. He's played short, I think, dang near every day. He picks it well, swings it well. He's been at the top of our order. His dad was a longtime coach at San Diego State, the head guy there, and you can tell he's just a coach's kid out there. He talks the game well. He leads our guys. So he was a no-brainer for us to try to get in there. And then a couple local guys, Carson Bozel from Okanagan, had 2 great years at Spokane Falls, just committed to UW. He's been electric out of the bullpen for us. And then Joey Thornton, a Tenasket kid that goes to Spokane Falls, has 2 great years there, just signed with the Zags. You know, he another one, loves the ball in big spots, big leverage lefty for us. You know, and then the last one, Mitch Haythorne, he's been a starter since opening night. You know, he's came out here and thrown well for us on a weekly basis, and great kid. So 3 really good arms, and then Cade, you know, our one position guy. So I think all 4 were great selections.
Talk about additions this week. You made some phone calls and some familiar names coming back to join the Sox.
Yeah. You know, we're gonna have Aiden Doherty. He was the West Coast League batting champ last summer. He's gonna be joining us. A guy that was at UConn and now is at UW, going into his senior year. Evan Cloyd, our first baseman for basically the entire summer through that playoff run. He'll be back. You know, and then some new names. Izzy Madriaga, an LC State second baseman, is going to join us this week. Found out about him. We were talking about connections. Evan Canfield put us on him, longtime Apple Sock. Gave me a phone call this week and said, hey, I have a second baseman that can swing it for you, and sounded like a kid we wanted. So few additions here as we kind of make this last push in July.
Speaking of which, we're almost out of time here. I know things have not gone the way you wanted to so far this summer. Talk about you know, rallying the troops and getting it done here in the second half.
Yeah, you know, I thought the start of this summer, you know, we played well. We won every series going into that Edmonton series, and we've just kind of hit a rough patch here. And again, it's all about how you respond. Are you gonna let that affect you the rest of this month and the rest of this summer, or are you gonna find a way to dig deep and make some adjustments and pull through? So I'll take our chances on the guys we got coming in and what we got here, and we're gonna find a way to get it done.
It's like that shortstop mentality. Don't think about the last play, think about the next one.
That's right. Yeah. Next pitch, one day at a time, and we'll see how it shakes out.
Well, Mitch, thanks for taking the time. We appreciate it, and we'll see you more throughout the summer, all right?
Awesome, thank you.
All right, Mitch Darlington joining us here on the NCWLIFE channel, Apple Sox Baseball. Go to applesox.com, see the full schedule, and of course you can watch them right here on your television home, the NCWLIFE channel.
Hey there folks, Blueberry Carrie here to invite you on out to Blueberry Hills to experience some real treats. Take a look at our homemade cream pies, our amazing cheesecakes, and don't forget our famous banana pudding. Remember, we're more than just great treats. People come from all over the world to experience what has been called one of the best destination restaurants in the Pacific Northwest. So come on out and see what all the fuss is about. Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
Hi, I'm Amanda Walden with A. Walden Insurance Group. Medicare can be overwhelming, but you don't have to figure it out alone. I've been helping people understand their Medicare options for over a decade. Medicare isn't a one-size-fits-all. I'll help you understand your coverage options so you can feel confident in your decisions. Let's find the right Medicare plan for you. Call me today or come and see me at my office located on South Chelan Avenue in Wenatchee between the YMCA and the Social Security office. I look forward to meeting you soon.
Couple of minutes left in the program here on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley for a Thursday. Thanks again to Mitch Darlington for visiting with us, talking baseball and talking about cheese on his big Wally. We'll have more baseball coming up. In fact, a week from tomorrow, we'll have the Apple Sox right here on the NCWLIFE channel, so be sure and tune in for that. As far as our forecast for the day today, looking at another sunny and breezy day and fairly cool temperatures. 84 are expected high today. Northwest winds 10 to 15, gusting to 24. The overnight low tonight was 63 degrees with, again, winds northwest 6 to 14, gusting to 22. The overnight low 63. And then tomorrow we'll see sunny skies and fairly calm conditions with a high of 92 as we get into the weekend. Yeah, it's getting hot once again. 95 on Saturday, 97 Sunday, and then hot for the first part of next week as well, maybe up to the triple digits again. Nighttime lows in the 70s. Speaking of 70s, we're at 72 in downtown Wenatchee outside the studios of the NCWLIFE channel. Be sure and tune in for Grant Olson with the latest local news coming up tonight at 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. He'll also get you an in-depth look at that weather forecast. I don't know if you knew this or not, but Grant Olson is a former meteorologist. You have to keep your license up to date with that, and Grant hasn't done that, so that's okay. We love Grant nonetheless. Anyway, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Enjoy your day today. We'll see you again tomorrow bright and early right here at 7 o'clock. One more slurp in there.